Now, let's talk about something that many come across and is an inconvenience over the internet, cyberbullying. Just as the use of technology itself has evolved, so has the ability to bully. Bullying, once restricted to the school or neighborhood, has now moved into the online world. Cyberbullying is bullying that takes place over digital devices like cell phones, computers, and tablets. Cyberbullying can also occur through SMS, text, and apps, or online in social media forums or gaming, where people can review, participate, or share content. Sharing negative, harmful, false, or mean content about someone or private information about using is embarrassment or humiliation have become norms our digital lives have to constantly navigate. Now, some forms of cyberbullying cross the line into the lawful or criminal behavior. It is an eventuality where people have become increasingly wary of as online engagements increase. In the Gambia, one particular group is fighting to raise awareness and ensure public education on the vital subject. Let's bring in Anna Sambu, who leads a youth group advocating for increased awareness of cyberbullying and its harms. Anna, welcome to GRTS News File.
Thank you very much.
Could you talk to us a little bit about cyberbullying?
Cyberbullying it's a big issue globally, especially now in the Gambia. We have heard of so many cases relating to online harassment, especially on young people. Looking at the case of women and girls, where my initiative is more centered around, we're looking at different areas of how we can limit the number of harassment and cyberbullying, focusing on women and girls in the Gambia. So it's a big issue, and one has to really start looking at addressing those issues. Like I kept saying, is if it's not limited right now or eradicated completely, then where are we in terms of sustainable national development tomorrow? You know, it's a challenge, but my initiative, which was started in May of last year, we thought it wise to really start something whereby it will give it will provide a safe space for victims of such as harassments to be able to openly share their experiences, because looking at it, we're in a country whereby the culture is really very sensitive. So you really need to be very careful of things that you're doing online and things that you're not supposed to do online. So the more reason why we started this.
Good. And can you talk to us about some of the approaches that your organization, your association is doing in trying to at least, sensitize people on cyberbullying? What are the approaches?
One of the things that we do is we provide training on digital security and safety. Right now we have about 23 kids attending the program. 15 of them are girls and the rest of them are boys. So what we do is we train them on online harassment, how to really stay safe online, where they're supposed to do, what they're not supposed to do. Because looking at it, like I call them, the kids of nowadays are really tech savvy. So you can't tell them not to go to the internet. Some of them are really creating accounts right now and they're not even of age. So how are we really trying to make sure they know the security measures involved in protecting themselves online?
Now, there are laws, of course, that are in place to deal with cyber crimes, yet still the problem still exists, it remains, as you rightly mentioned earlier, because of our culture. As we speak now, there are some people who have been caught in a web of cyber criminality that they are finding very difficult to move out. What do you think should be done in terms of legal frameworks?
I think the law enforcement agencies need to really take a big stand in it, because there are some in the what's it called, in the act, in the ICT Act, there is a part where it's protecting the rights of people online and stuff like that. But I mean, we have a problem whereby if such victims are being harassed online, they seek solace to the police. But then the problem we realize is that whenever they reach out to the police to help them address these issues, it's always like once the abuse is not physical, there is little or nothing they can't really do about it. And you can't really blame them for that because there is not enough resources for them to be able to address or hold these perpetrators accountable for their actions. And I think the law also has to be revived in a way that it's also it's also addressing these sort of issues critically, because looking at it, the act is there, but it has not really been implemented in the Gambia.
So Anna, talking about the act and the protection, the victims, the harassment, initially you said you're focusing on the girls. Why are you particularly focusing on girls? Is it because they are more vulnerable when it comes to cybercrimes?
Absolutely. They're very, very, very vulnerable when it comes to that. Looking at it, like I said, some of the trainings that we're offering, we're not only limiting it to women and girls, we're also targeting young boys as well. Because when we did our research, we realized that it's not only just affecting women and girls, but guys as well. But why our focus on women and girls is that they're the most vulnerable, and it seems like fingers are always pointed at them. So, you know, we also have a voice, and looking at it in most of the cases that we've really heard or come across, it's mostly the women that are really being affected
And
more.
quickly, when we talk about cyberbullying, most of us will think it is about taking pictures of people, nude pictures, and posting them online. But could you tell us briefly about other aspects that combine together one would call cyberbullying?
Yes, apart from the revenge porn, there is also the aspect of what's it called, stalking. You know, somebody has a Facebook page, for example, or whatsoever, and then you're always checking what the individual is doing online, and then the next minute you're commenting or making posts that are really negative based on the person's post or whatsoever it is. And we also have the issue of hate speeches, whereby everybody's want to be a social media warrior or whatsoever it is. So these are some of the other issues that are also relating to cyberbullying as well, apart from the revenge porn, which is the most common one, but these are also some other issues as well.
So what is the name of your group, and when did you initiate it?
It's called SHOAW Gambia. It means Stop Harassment and Online Abuse of Women and Girls in the Gambia. This was initially started in May of 2018 last year. So we're pretty new, but we've also finished our first free certification training, whereby kids, about 30 of them were being certified after completing a 4-week course on digital safety, leadership and team building skills, entrepreneurship in the eyes of young people, because you need to start putting this entrepreneurship in their mindset at a very early age, not just to wait until once they finish high school to figure out what exactly they want to do. Once they have this, it will be good for them to look at areas where they can really start their petty businesses. And we also looked at young people in political participation, you know, which is very important. I also saw not long ago that the Young People's Assembly, yes, so which is pretty good, as their voices also do matter when it comes to national development as well.
Okay, Anna Sambu, who leads a youth group advocating for increased awareness of cyberbullying. Thanks for talking to GRTS News File.
Thank you very much for having me.